Well, she was in Playboy during, like, she had to come clean to the murderer, Chris Soules, about her Playboy past, and he kicked her off the show because of it. A couple years later, he gets fucking wasted and kills a guy, okay? Let's get this man a ladder.
Because of
the high horse.
We need to get him down off that high horse. I didn't even think they allowed horses in prison.
Oh, hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Patrick, the producer of the podcast, is behind the glass.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Dill.
Business to take care of.
Please, sir, if you don't mind.
Okay.
In the iTunes reviews bit that I do, or my segment, I announced last episode that a fan apparently wasn't a fan of me screaming, and I said that I would take that into consideration and try and dial it down.
Grow.
Grow as a person. I will say, I would like to thank all the baby birdies and their positive feedback that I was showered with this past week. They don't agree with that review, and they would like me to continue screaming.
There was like 2 people.
Well, there's been I wonder what the iTunes ratings and reviews is going to look like this week, because a lot of trashy talk on the Facebook group this week. I didn't like it. A lot of negative energy there, but that's your job, not mine. We need to get into this here. Do you have something to say, Nick?
Just that you have a role as administrator in that group, just like all 3 of us do, so you feel free to step in any time.
All right, I'm going to get more catty.
Whip them into shape if they're getting out of line. I feel like they've been following directions really well, but we'll get into it later.
If I need to break a couple wings, I'll break a couple wings. Guys, tonight we've got babies. We've got the couples everyone hopes to be, a witch. But before we get into the episode, let's jump into general thoughts. Nick.
Man, with all the juice this season, it seemed like there was a lot of made-up shit in this episode. Mm-hmm. I feel like we could have, again, maybe even got a little bit more Jubilee in her exit instead of some of this made-up witchcraft and such.
Yeah.
But overall, still a really fun episode. I mean, this whole season's been gold.
Pat.
Yes. All right. So as I was watching this, especially the last 30 minutes, which was cooked, as Nick mentioned, it's winding down. It's time to...
It's a little fakakta right now.
It's we're there. It's time to take this around the barn, as you say, Dylan, off and shoot.
Do I say that often?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do.
Okay, I agree with you guys. It's crazy that often when I ask for general thoughts, we're all in agreement, pretty much. Subpar episode, and as we've stated in the past, parents, get off this fucking island, which is not an island.
CCF.
What's that?
Crumb Cruncher Free.
Okay, I like that. You're great with the...
acronyms.
And also, hashtag no more single mothers or fathers on the island.
An acronym?
Isn't that what that is, when you basically just use the first letter of...
No, I think it's just an acronym.
Acronym. You were like mixing up the 2 words anachronism and
I wish I was that smart. No, I'm just an idiot.
Anachronism. I can't even talk now. But anachronism is when... An anachronism.
Okay.
An anachronism is when there is something out of place for that era. Like if we were to see, I don't know, like a Model T all of a sudden show up on the island.
Anachronistic. Yeah. It's a vestige.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you like a dial-up telephone or a what? I don't even know what you call those fucking things, but you stick your finger in it and you wheel it around, and then you stick another one, you wheel it around. Let's talk about this show. The couples are all paired up.
Rotary phone. Nice.
Got it. Too hot. The couples are all paired up. We've got 6 couples.
Hey, want a roll call?
I was gonna ask for one.
Roll call of couples that are paired up. Joe and Kendall, Astrid and Kevin, Camille and Annalise, Jenna and Jordan, Evil Ben Still and Crazy Crystal, and Eric and Cassandra, although I would question that relationship.
These guys really put the pair in paradise.
Let's just let that sit for a sec. Guys, who do we think is the strongest couple?
I think not just on this island, but what every couple should strive to be, Kevin and Astrid. They're wonderful people.
1,000%.
I completely disagree. I think Kevin's full of shit, and we will see if they're even a couple after a month out of the paradise. I will chime in here and say that the strongest couple is Olivia and Diggy, but I am getting ahead of myself.
Wow, hot take.
Whoa.
Super erroneous hot take.
All right. Speaking of Kevin and Astrid, do we need to talk about the chicken salad recipe and the homemade dressings in the fridge, or do you want to just get right into Chris Shitface Harrison?
Just that he was extremely proud of those dressings.
Well, I feel like he's a very regimented individual. He probably works out for no less than an hour and a half a day, and probably has a rack of supplements that is OCD organized. That's just me, though.
I agree. He's very regimented, and I actually just wish I could have some of that discipline in my own life.
Okay, why'd you say it like that?
South Park episode that was in my head.
Jordan says that
He lacked the discipline.
anyone could walk through those doors and nothing would happen to him and Jenna. And he's kind of right, because Chris Shitface Harrison walks through. And he says he's got some special guests to bring down. Drum roll, please. Pat, who walks in?
Roll call of wannabe has-beens, the TV narcissist, Carly, Evan, Tanner, Jade. Hey, can I remind the audience, go check out Jade on Pornhub. Great footage of her on there. Mm-hmm.
I did not know about this, and I actually kind of fell.
Jesus Christ. Can I just say, I was thinking about the whole Playboy thing.
She wishes it was Playboy.
Well, she was in Playboy during, like, she had to come clean to the murderer, Chris Soules, about her Playboy past, and he kicked her off the show because of it. A couple years later, he gets fucking wasted and kills a guy, okay? Let's get this man a ladder.
Because of
the high horse.
We need to get him down off that high horse. I didn't even think they allowed horses in prison. He avoided jail time, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So anyways, these guys come down, and you can kind of gauge who is a sane person and who is an insane person from their reaction to these four. A good bulk of them who are rational human beings are like, who are you? Why are you here? I don't care, and I don't like it. But you do see a couple smiles. And Crystal, Kendall, Annalise, Cassandra. Not good. Not a good sign. Pat.
Yes, sir.
Harrison tells them that they need to sit down and have a chat with the arbiters of this date card. I hate this entire thing.
Okay, I really hate these people. Like, they should be evaluating other people's relationships. But let me tell you something. This Carly broad, married to that complete pussy Evan.
Yeah.
Last year,
the dick doc.
Two seasons ago, she hated this guy so much.
Yeah.
But she made the leap to not only marry someone she hates, but also have a child with someone she hates for the sake of maintaining relevance in this franchise. She was the most
cynical.
Hateful. She was also on that Murderers season, Chris Soules, and she dodged a serious bullet, no pun intended. Although he didn't shoot someone, he drove over them and killed them.
Still counted it as a pun.
Thank you, sir. She was the mean girl on that season. Every girl that was getting time with Chris Soules, they would cut to her, and she would be the most cutting, mean-spirited, angry bitch you've ever heard in your life. And now she's like the likable Carly.
Yeah.
That's weird that you say that. See, I'm not tainted by her past as a bitch, I guess. Mm-hmm. But because I completely disagree with you. I really
She's lovely now.
I really like both of these couples. I think they're great together, and I really want to see these supposed videos of Jade.
All right.
That was a little left turn at the end there. Yeah. But what I'm saying is they have beautiful relationships.
In my mind, I was like, okay, I've got what he's saying. I can now move on. And then what?
I want to see her porn.
So, as I said, I cannot stand this. These people having to have these, what are essentially like job interviews with these two couples. And yeah.
I'm just shitting on your guys' points, but I liked it as a little. You get to see these people sit down and both in front of each other assess where they think they are in the relationship.
It's a dumb assessment that does not need to be made. Who are we kidding? Why are we talking to people that don't know one another about babies? It doesn't need to happen.
I agree.
Especially from these people who fucking fell in love on reality television.
Well, Dylan, hold on. Let me compound on what you're saying, but also make a better point. If Tristan and Ryan from the first season, they're still together. I don't know if you knew this, Nick.
Oh, no. Very first season of The Bachelor?
Multiple kids been together for 20 years, and they were married on the first season of The Bachelorette. Tristan. Trista, if she wants to come in here and start dispensing parenting advice and shit, I'll take it from her and Ryan. But I'm not taking it from these four fools.
You know what? Giving an old couple, Eileen and George, let's call them, who have been together for 40 plus years. Let's do that. I'd much prefer that. That wouldn't be great reality television. But anyways.
But the interview format itself did give us some great moments.
Yes, it did.
Like the disparity between Camille and Annalise's views of their relationship. Patrick, do we have a clip?
Pat, do we have a clip?
I like the girl, and she's beautiful. And I just want it to slow down a little bit because I'm not ready for what you guys have at the current moment. Mm-hmm. I think it'll take me a little bit. I need to play catch up.
Okay. What do you think, Annalise?
I mean, it scares me because, like, I do want what you guys have, but I do know in this environment, like, literally, our date was like a 6-month in relationship. You know, it felt like it was like so things do change so quickly.
And Annalise is like trying to support him and be like, yeah, I think we should take a step back too, but she's like dying in her eyes.
Yeah,
like,
she's like,
so
if
sad.
I step back, do you mean let's get married?
Let me say something here. Yeah. That was a real moment, and I respect the fuck out of them, actually, not trying to really impose. Well, you should still keep trying to get married, Annalise.
I think you're giving them a little bit too much credit, but...
May I remind the audience that Annalise has professed her love and willingness to get married at the end of these 2 weeks to 3 individuals at this point.
So this has now reached a new low for her. This is past the point of sympathy. Maybe I do use the dog behind the barn metaphor a little too often, but
no one said too often. We just noted that you do it a lot.
Similar thing. It's watching her is like seeing a dog that like can't walk and can't go to the bathroom on its own and has like tumors, and you're just looking at it like, why are you still alive? She is.
So what should you do with that, Dylan?
Throw it in the fucking ocean.
Let sharks eat it. Hey, gentlemen. My wife commented that Annalise was really pathetic, and she made a joke. She said that she would marry a gopher if he asked at this point.
Not your best, Sheree.
Would you like to hear how that sounds?
No.
Gopher. Do you take this OCD mess of a human being to be your lawfully wedded wife? Annalise, do you take the gopher as your husband? Yes. I now pronounce you gopher and wife.
Knew we didn't need that.
My favorite part about that is just how organic the bit came up. Hey, want to hear this joke my wife said?
Really kicked some things around my head I thought I'd bring in today.
Allow me to elaborate. No, that was beautiful, Pat.
No, you are right. Annalise would
marry a gopher.
Absolutely. Nothing short of an inanimate object, which you could argue Camille is. Hey, I do want to talk about Evan and...
Carly.
No. Tanner. And the juxtaposition between those two. Like, you can tell that Tanner views this as a necessary evil to just kind of keep their cachet afloat. And Evan is still, like, weirdly, passionate about getting to the bottom of these couples.
And helping these other people find the love he has discovered.
So off-putting.
There is some footage when we were going off mic, pre-production for the show. The sound was down, and I was just looking at Tanner's facial expressions. He's beaten down. Beaten down.
By the heat or by parenting?
All of the above. Living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, anyways, after the roulette of interviews has stopped spinning, I did an Asian voice too. I don't know why. I guess it was this house.
They love gambling.
yeah, after this thing is done, Joe and Kendall are awarded the date, which is not the greatest thing you could ask for. They are going to be taking care, and it's just revealed in such a cute way. They're going to be taking care of Jade and Tanner and Evan and Carly's children.
This would have been a great date if you were a 15-year-old girl looking for some spending money during summer vacation.
Right, but alas.
Can I say something about this horrible bit that they do?
You know, you ask if you can say quite often, and Pat, the answer's always yes.
This is an area where all three of us are free to give our ideas and
That's why we have microphones
and
in
just
front
say,
of us.
So provided no one is talking at the time, yes. Absolutely.
Okay. I wouldn't leave
So
my...
moving on.
No, you let him.
Come on,
he
Pat,
asked
what do you
I
want?
wouldn't
Politely.
leave my fucking dogs with these losers.
Dude.
Let me tell you something about parents that are actual parents, and especially in this helicopter society that we live in now. No way would you leave your screaming children as you're walking away to go sit by a pool and drink margaritas for an hour, whatever it took to tape this bit. You would never, you hear your child in pain, you would run back and go, I can't. I want to be on TV, but I can't listen to my child cry for an hour.
I want to get into the hot take game so badly, but you guys are vets. You guys got rings. That you just glazed over what I thought was such a hot take, but I'm a rookie. I'm green.
Double hot take. I believe that they actually shot the pool stuff and the margarita stuff while they did that little, what the fuck, that was horrible, of all of them having a great time.
Yeah.
I believe they probably shot that while their kids were in PA's hands.
Hey, Patrick, we must be using the same oven because I had that same hot take.
And that was my hot take. Like, they showed this montage of them seemingly spending 15 hours away from their kids. And one, that would never happen because... They're shitty people they're not shitty people, but they're fame hungry. But consider the age of these kids. Like, Jade and Tanner's kid is very young, and Carly and Evan's kid is 4 months old. That is an infant. You cannot just give a 4-month-old baby to strangers.
Listen, I can't speak for Evan and Carly's kid, but I think Jade and Tanner's child can take care of themselves. Somehow has started an Instagram account with 110,000 followers.
Yeah.
So pretty savvy on the social media. I think they can handle a day alone on the island.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I want to speak to Emmy 10 years from now when she's in that psychiatrist's office, all this trauma that was presented to her 10 years before.
Emmy?
She'll be live.
Yeah,
that Emerson. Emmy for short.
Got it. How do we think that Joe and Kendall did with those crumb crunchers, as Pat would call them?
People were pretty nervous about how Joe would handle it, and they turned out to be proven correct. He was very stiff with that child, and I actually thought at one point we were just going to see him snap and see like this other side of Joe, like this when you actually got comfortable with him in a marriage, this would be the husband he is. He's like, fuck this, I'm leaving, you put together, I'm going to get a drink. He comes home later wasted. Why is this kid still up?
Throws a bottle of beer that he's been drinking on the road.
I brought these pizzas, and he just throws them against the walls as it sticks and slides down. That didn't go as well as I thought it would.
That was great, man. And organic.
You thought that he got rather defensive at one point, right? When he was talking about how good he is with children.
Yeah, people were questioning it, and he's like, what would I do if I had a baby crying? I'd try to make a laugh. And I would, too. I'm good at that. He was very defiant in his abilities, and he was wrong.
Yeah, like Sho or Shu has been deemed the witch, but I think Kendall is probably the closest thing to a sorceress that we have on the island. Her strange energy really calms those kids down in 2 seconds, From the fables, witches are very good at tricking little children into a state of
docileness.
Calm. Pat, do you have anything to add?
Oh, yeah. I have a clip of these two fools talking. I thought it was very telling. It's Joe explaining to Kendall why relationships haven't worked out. I think America wants to know because he's a simpleton, but he seems like a nice guy. Why,
hit us with it.
I mean, right now, I really only want to date you. I mean, I really like you. So, this is usually when I freak out.
Yeah?
And backpedal.
Why do you think that is?
Commitment. I don't like caring about somebody and then hurting them.
Do you feel like it's because you're the kind of person that maybe just isn't meant to have a long-term relationship, or you just haven't found the right person yet?
I feel like I just haven't found the right person.
Yep.
His answer, when questioned why hasn't it worked out with others, he said, "I'm afraid of hurting them."
Problem.
Yes.
I think it goes back to my theory. I think he is worried he's going to black out, come home in a blind, drunken rage, and physically harm these women.
You know what? Now that I see, he is blasted pretty much every day, all day. And, alcoholism, the way it starts out, you're having a good time. You don't just start drinking a beer or a six-pack and then start punching people. This escalates as time goes on. You're having a good time. 10 years in, you are coming home, punching your wife in the face, and then having to reseal that drywall so when your friends come over, they didn't know that you threw into a fucking wall.
His alcoholism, he's able to mask because he's not like coming home drinking a bunch of whiskey. He's just going to have 24 to 30 beers over the course of 12 hours.
Does anybody want a peanut?
That was out of context.
I will say this, though.
No, it wasn't.
When we see Joe, he is a nice guy. He's a simpleton. But there's some trauma here. I'm feeling like maybe mommy wasn't home, maybe some childhood neglect, or maybe someone touched him when he was 12, maybe one of those Catholic priests or something. Something's
Pederasty.
Something's up with Grocer Joe. He's a good-looking guy. He seems nice, at least on the outside. Something's going on there.
I think you're completely wrong. I think he's a product of a very boring, normal Midwestern upbringing.
And I want to say my theory, I don't even really buy into it.
It's jokes.
He's a genuinely nice guy. I love Joe.
Can I say, what was this date? Like, it looked like they just moved them 50 yards down the beach and then started shooting. What was that?
Well, they do this twice in this episode. Not getting ahead of myself, but when Cassandra and the Kiwi, I would call him Jordan too, but let's just say he's the Kiwi for the sake of confusion. Their date is sitting on some patio furniture and then walking in the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. Step it up, producers. Let's talk about Eric and Cassandra.
Oh, boy.
He kind of comes to this realization that he cannot stay on this island any longer. Equal to Annalise, he's getting more and more pathetic by the moment.
I couldn't agree more, Dylan. Let me tell you something. This guy, well, first off, did we miss some footage? Getting ahead of myself, the way he lays this out in his argument or his position on I need to leave is the fact that the breakup with Angela was so traumatic for him.
Right.
That I think he actually states at some point, half of him left when she left.
Which is insane because you did not continue a relationship with her because she wouldn't fuck you, which would imply that your feelings for her were not that strong if you could leave that cheese in a second.
I'm telling you, this guy starts sentences not knowing how they're going to end up, and then he just
Right.
He somehow wraps it up where it's semi-coherent, so you're like, that sounded right. But like you said, he broke up with Angela. This shouldn't be the reason you're...
any sense.
Move on. He's so melodramatic. He has to make This was the epitome of Eric.
I like how we drop the phrase "my truth," it's an official opinion on dumb shit.
God damn it!
If you end it everything dumb thing you say with "my truth," somehow it's supposed to make sense. And I think the brothers get a pass on this. Like, hey, she left the other day. And, I can't stick around here more, even though, that bitch, it's my truth. All right, fine. Free pass. Made sense to me.
I hate this my truth bullshit.
Right.
It may be hard to uncover in most instances, but there is only one truth.
Yeah, totally. And it's like a linguistic witchcraft because you can just say anything followed up by my truth, and in that world it is true to you. Like, I believe that the earth is not round but triangular. It's my truth.
I'm 6'8". That's my truth.
My cock's a foot.
Well, that's for me. I mean, that's true. No, it's not a foot.
Your penis is huge, though.
No, it's just...
It's his truth, dude.
It's just 10 inches.
It's his truth. Hey.
Your dick looks like something that old sailors' tales are written about. Something that would spook you if you saw it in the ocean. You want to talk about Eric and Cassandra a little bit more? Because I have more thoughts.
Me too.
Let me get to them. Do not ever wake somebody up from a nap to break up with them.
You could have ended at, don't wake someone up from a nap.
It's rude to wake somebody up from a nap. It is fucking disgusting to wake them up from a nap and say what he said. Pat?
Sleeping? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to intervene. Just wanted to talk real quick. So, this morning we talked. We came to a compromise on where we stand and how we want to do the rest of paradise. But unfortunately, I'm making a decision to leave. I want to apologize again for everything. Just want to say thank you for being you.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. I just don't think your head's in like the right spot, you know?
It's not.
This is going to come off racist. We have a lot of things to attack this guy on, but I'm going to go out here on a limb, and I know
color is not one of them.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say the things that need to be said. This man made it to number 3 on Rachel Lindsay's season. He did not talk like this on Rachel Lindsay's season. I thought he actually sounded more normal. Now he's like sounding like he would like sling crack on the hard streets of Baltimore. In my opinion,
I feel like he's sounded like a crack dealer from day one. But
okay, great. So he tells her that he's gonna leave, says stuff about half of him leaving to Kevin, and then again does this big long diatribe in front of everybody. Eric, please do your podcast and never, ever put your toes in this sand ever again. Leave us and America alone. Your head is disconcerting. You look like a Mars Attacks alien, and your fucking personality is even worse than your features. Goodbye.
Can I say something?
Too much?
No.
When he says goodbye to the group, they are all broken up by this, him leaving. In fact, some of them try and convince him to stay. I don't know what they saw that I didn't see. I'm starting to just think that people on that island get dumber as the weeks progress. I saw a horrible human being that emotionally played with someone's feelings and then sent him packing and then leaves for no reason. When he is basically making his goodbye, I like the drama that was around this sounded like a guy who just came back from 2 tours in fucking Iraq that killed some guys. Like, I'm emotionally drained. I gotta leave. People are crying, hugging him. It's like, no, dude, you just drank free booze and partied for 2 weeks, and now you're fucking run down and you're tired and probably want to sleep in your own bed.
And I don't get the move here. Like, can he not have sex with Cassandra either? Like, is she just not gonna put it up?
Hot take. She's playing for the cameras that she's into him and gonna pick him this week. He's sensing that she's sending him packing. He's gonna look like a douche. So to preemptively not look like a douche, although he's still looking like a douche, he exits.
Okay.
Hot take. Sorry, Nick.
I think that I agree with that. But going back to your why is everybody so crushed that this idiot without any redeemable qualities is leaving?
Yeah.
This baffled me as well, and I started thinking about it, and I have some theories. These people are fame-hungry monsters seeking validation. And Eric is this weird, like, cheerleader type of person. He's always positive. He's like, yeah, what's up? You can find your thing, blah, blah, blah. So I think everybody loves him being around. Like, Shoshana, she was crushed. I guarantee you he was like, no, Shoshana, you're beautiful. You deserve that.
So you're saying that he is kind of the nucleus of this bullshit energy field.
He's just going around, like, validating people right and left so they love him. They need him there to feel whole.
I love that, Nick. Yeah, who do you want to hang out with? The person that's always like, kind of like, hey, I want to tell you at the party last night your breath kind of smelled? Or do you want to hang out with the person that goes, hey, everyone fucking loves you here?
Who is the first person? Is that you?
I'm the guy telling the person their breath smells.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't be a good hype man. I'd get kicked off this island. I'm trying to convince my wife to let me be on this show, and she won't let me.
We need to move on into more fun that this TV program has to offer. But before we do, let's get to a little iTunes ratings and reviews. Pat.
Yes, Dylan.
How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good.
What's going on in the iTunes ratings and reviews?
Well, Dylan, we didn't get any reviews this week.
Huh.
You know, we're winding down. As the show starts to suck, I've noticed, not our show, ABC's show.
Right.
People start falling off. Although the listenership has not fallen off, people start getting unmotivated. Although not you, baby birds. You're doing a great job in there. But anyway, we didn't get any reviews this week. But what I like to do is look back a year in our reviews and then kind of see our progress through, what we've accomplished in the last year.
Time capsule.
Yeah. So on September 11th, boy, timing very off.
September 11th, 1 month before my birthday.
I'll never forget September 11th, 2001. That infamous day when the Blueprint dropped. Jay-Z's The Blueprint.
Oh, great record. Great record.
Yeah, I'll never forget September 11th, 2001, because it was the day that many of Americans found out just what our own government is capable of.
Hey, dude, this chick I'd really been after. I played a show at the Troubadour. I was a guitar player, and this totally hot brunette Latina chick, she let me finger bang her on September 11th. So that was pretty cool.
Huh.
September 11th, 2017. Just a couple days off of, because they don't know when we record this. The baby birdies don't know. So anyway, I'll say a year ago today. 1 year ago to this day, this bitch, she did put her name on it, Dylan. Alina 20874.
That's all we can ask for. That's all we can ask for.
1 star. She says, and not 3 grown men complaining about negative ratings for an hour. Can't wait to hear you guys talk about this one all episode next week. And she said, thought this was a podcast. 1 star. Huh. Well, we didn't give her what she wanted a year ago, but I guess we're giving it to her now. So if you're still listening, you're still a bitch.
Yeah.
What? We didn't talk about bad ratings for an hour. You little slice of hell. What an asshole. But, I do respect the moxie. She wore a name tag. Hello, my name is little slice of hell. Asshole.
Pat, I'm not one to do this, and I hope you don't do this to me later in the show because I'd be furious. But I want to ask to talk a little bit in your segment. Since we don't have any current reviews, there's a way we can grow this pod that will help probably even more than iTunes reviews. Just recently in the Facebook group, I posted that in the I Don't Get It Facebook group, there was a thread about what Bachelor podcast you listen to. And I employed anyone that have disregarded Patrick's wishes to not be in other Facebook's group. If you did happen to not listen to him, go in that Facebook group, infiltrate, and comment another Bachelor podcast. This is how we grow it. These Facebook groups are powerful. Join the Bachelor ones. Join Caitlin Bristow's Off the Vine. But you got to be sneaky about it. You got to be an incel.
A ninja.
An incel, someone who doesn't have sex.
Yeah.
But you guys know what I'm saying.
Be that too, because you're so dedicated to putting this podcast out into the stratospheres.
So get in these other Facebook groups, comment about our show, put our content, but it's got to be organic.
I want to tag that, and I want you guys to focus on the Juicy Scoop Facebook page, because I want more than anything for that bitch Heather McDonald to have a goddamn meltdown because there's a rebellion in her own Facebook page. I want that bitch to see, what's this other podcast? And freak out, divorce her husband over it. I want her to have a mental breakdown because you baby birds are in those goddamn Facebook pages infiltrating her community.
I feel like we don't necessarily have to poke that bear.
Okay, nighttime.
Nighttime!
Take it again.
Nighttime.
Okay, are you guys ready for a little bit of truth or dare?
I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite parts of the night.
This was insane.
I wish we could have had Jordan from day one, I'll tell you. The accent,
the
which
Kiwi.
you do so well.
Oh, thank you.
Is amazing.
Yeah, well, it's weird. He kind of starts off the entire round, or at least it's edited as such, with an 11.
Yeah.
He dares Olivia and John to recreate the Chili Klaus kiss that Carly and Evan claimed a world record for. It is just, it's a lot. It's a lot to watch.
It's so gross that even, look, I hate Asian John. Olivia's beautiful. They did not pull it off. It was gross even when they did it.
Oh, it was really gross.
I don't know whose was more gross. I think Olivia and John's were.
The spit string at the end between Carly and Evan was super gross. But man, they really had Olivia and John really had it coming down their chin.
Yeah,
it was a pretty intense dare by Jordan. But
right.
I was like, anything's liable to come out of this man's mouth. Truth or dare?
Truth.
Suck my dick.
She's doing it.
Whoa, Jordan, this is supposed to be a friendly game. She has to do it. That's the rules.
That's the rule. She said truth.
I want to say, because Jordan has nothing to do on this island, that's a producer intervention. Like, hey, we need to get some people talking here, start the drama. And by the way, let me say this about the Kiwi. When he was on Winter Games, way more handsomer. Than he is now. When he sometimes people shave their hair off and go bald, and they improve. Not this man.
Dude, you know who else has shaved his hair and has not improved? CNN's Don Lemon. Okay, he took a razor to his head, and boy, oh boy, that head looks like a goddamn, what's that Dan Aykroyd movie?
Blues Brothers.
Coneheads. Let's break down the imagery of this scene, because he tells them to eat the pepper and kiss. I guess the instructions were a little vague, and they launch into a combined consumption of this pepper while locking lips. They're trading the pepper back and forth. They're trading pools of spit back and forth. They are drooling between them. And you can see in the puddle of spit, seeds and pepper flesh swimming around. It is disgusting and looks very, very hot.
Way to paint a picture with words. But I was very impressed by both the way these guys went at it, though it was gross. This Olivia, she's 24 years old, but she came to this island willing to do whatever it takes to be a relevant player in this game. She'll fuck Asian John if that's what it takes.
We said off mic, of course. We all agreed that Olivia is definitely getting hotter as the days and weeks progress.
She's a very beautiful young lady.
Another thing we said off mic was, Nick, you'd actually counted how many chicks Asian John has played tonsil hockey with.
Yeah, we glossed over this.
I would love to take credit for this, but this actually came up in his interview with Jade and Tanner. They asked him, they had heard some rumors about John being quite the Casanova, and asked him how many other people he had made out with, and he said 6 other women on the island. Could we name Chelsea, Olivia, Jubilee, Kendall?
No, we cannot. But I do want to say, it's something that I brought up last week. He's weirdly not a player and a player in the same body, because he says, like...
He's not a player, he just fucks a lot.
Stop it.
You know that's a lyric, right?
Yes, I know it's a lyric. I'm not a player, I just fuck a lot.
I have thoughts on Asian John and why he gets to make out with chicks so much.
Well, it's because... Pat, go.
He is a placeholder in his real life, off island too. He's a placeholder. He's the guy, you know what you get with him. He'll make out with you. He'll try and fuck you, but he's not going to say anything too offensive. He's safe. He's boring. You got to listen to him brag about not being the founder of Venmo. He'll take you out to a nice dinner, but really, while you're sitting across the table from him, you're actually texting the guy that you really want to fuck that night.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Like, he's just being bounced around the desperate parts of this process. That's the only reason why he's hooked up with as many girls as he has. And Olivia, I think Olivia actually likes him, but she does see him as a surefire way to remain on this island.
I think last week's guest, Alex Sulkin, had a great point about what makes John so attractive, and it's that digital bank account.
Yeah. So, wrapping up the Truth or Dare, things get a little catty between Annalise and Shu, the witch. Annalise says Truth or Dare. Shu says truth. And Annalise asks Camille if he's got any questions, to which Shu replies, "It's your turn to ask questions," or something like that.
Dylan, I know that's a horrible imitation of her, and you know I'm horrible at imitations. I was saying off mic once again that the Russian witch is a year off from you not even knowing she's from Russia. Her accent comes in and out. She sounds like she speaks English.
That's why I was doing a Spanish accent or something.
Hey guys, can I get a beer? Can I get a beer?
Yeah.
All right.
You guys want to talk about this here Chex commercial?
Not really, other than I'm completely jealous, and I know that he probably Wells hammered a check for $60K to sit on that fucking beach and film this, and I'm pissed.
Yeah, okay.
On the flip side of that, I'm very happy that Yuki's getting that Chex Mix money.
Yep, I'm happy too. Let's talk about the Kiwi, and the witch. I don't know why. I don't really care about her motivation, but she just refuses to let the Camille boat sail away, and is preventing herself from having a very, very good and interesting relationship.
Camille sail away, Camille sail away, Camille sail away from me. No, I'm saying Camille sail away because she said it was really clever of me, but I have bad rhythm.
Kiwi says, "Enough with you, you crazy witch. I'm gonna go and hang out with Cassandra."
Can I tell you his big mistake on this? Although we didn't know that she was insane as she is, which we find out later at the end of this episode. He shouldn't have taken a page from the playbook that Leo, the scumbag, did on his season with Becca, which is, if she's not into you, just lay the date out as, hey, no pressure. Let's have fun. Let's go into town.
I don't think she would have accepted that either. I think she's like weird. She just wants to sit and sulk.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
She accuses Camille, which, by the way, I want to say on the screen they spelled his name 2 different ways, once with a K and once with a C. I could be wrong, but anyway.
Well,
she is getting mixed messages from him. So she says to Annalise in their conversation, and also mentions that to Olivia, I think, at some point. One of you guys pointed out, maybe it was last episode or maybe it was off mic, that he does lean down and kiss her at the conclusion of a rose ceremony or a bonfire. He's sending mixed messages, and she is feeling that. Women read into shit. Let me tell you something, Dylan. I don't know if you knew this. Women are fucking insane. And they see things that we don't see. And they read into things a lot. And maybe he is sending mixed messages.
I think Patrick might be onto something. I think he's kind of keeping her on the hook. He's getting loving at any time of the day he wants it from Annalise, but the second they're off this island or that well runs dry, he's gonna hit up Shoshana, Shana, Fofana, Fi, Fofana, Shoshana.
Okay.
Because she is way hotter than Annalise. Come on. But maybe he doesn't want to look like a jerk. So all these people that I accuse all the time, like, oh, look at you, just pass around chicks or making it like, look at you, you scumbag. He's playing it like a nice guy. Like, hey, look at me. I'm with the ugliest chick on the island. I'm sticking to her. I'm staying loyal. I got this hot chick that's Russian, but she looks Latina. And she's into me. I could go sleep with her in her bungalow, but I'm staying with the ugly chick. Hey, everybody, I'm a nice guy.
That example he mentioned was after Truth or Dare, when Camille went to bed. He leaned down and he gave her a very caring kiss on the forehead.
Everybody.
Did he?
No.
Did he?
Let me tell you something. If he's smart, a dude does that, but it's the devil's in the details. It's how you squeeze her. If you were into a chick, you walk around the fat one, you just hug her, kiss her, because you should tell the group,
slap
hey,
her on the
I
ass.
do this to everybody. But then the hot one that you're really into, you give her something a little more special, but no one else would know. Cameras wouldn't even catch it. I'm getting a little too deep into this. I've never indulged in this, by the way.
Perhaps, but he does turn her down after yet again another repeated advance, and this does not make Annalise happy. She goes over and she says, "Hi, can I talk to you?" Spot on.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, she's getting a little too fucking big for her britches. We've solved the riddle. What's the only thing worse than a desperate Annalise? And the answer is a confident Annalise.
Which is kind of oxymoronic because she's always desperate, even in her in her hubris. But she talks to Shu, and she has some words with her. Pat?
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you understood, because I feel like you've been trying, and I feel like every time he's talked to you, he's like, I've made it totally clear, and then you've continued to have conversations with him, and I just think you need to just
I never even approached him till today.
No, you did at the rose ceremony.
No, but that was after our date, and he tried to kiss me and come back. I was open with...
I have to be honest. He didn't try to kiss you. There wasn't something there. I feel like everything that you thought happened on the date didn't happen.
I completely agree with you. What is far worse than a desperate Annalise is a confident Annalise. She is a bitch to Shu. Let me finish was asked, and it was never indulged. Not once.
Oh, I think part of that was she wasn't letting her finish because everything Shu was saying was erroneous. It's hard to just let someone talk and make shit up. But yeah, Annalise is a bitch too.
I do it all the time.
Sorry.
Hey, but let me say this. At the
You
tail
are really shitting on everybody's points tonight. What a fucking dick you are, huh?
Sorry.
This is supposed to be a supportive room. A supportive room, Nick.
When you guys say stupid stuff, I'm gonna...
Hey. At the tail end of this clip, she says, Annalise to the witch, she says, are you putting spells on us? Because I see you looking in his eyes. We didn't need to put that in that audio there. But she says it. And Annalise accused her at some point of giving misinformation. Then I asked Nick, hey, Nick, what's it called when one person tells another person to another person to another person, and by the end of the conversation or sharing the information, it's manipulated? When Camille told Annalise that she was staring at him weird and he thought she was kind of witch, he never said she's committing witchcraft or she's trying to put spells on me. But when Annalise confronts the witch, she lays that on her. So somehow that information is manipulated, and we have this narrative for the last 30 minutes of this show that we have a witch creating witchcraft on this island.
Yeah.
So it's a classic game of telephone.
Right.
Thank you.
So you knew that he was talking about telephone, and I got confused because I thought that he was talking about a trait that you can check off when you're building characters in Dungeons and Dragons, maybe a halfling thief, something like that, who is capable of throwing voices as a distraction. That's totally what I thought, but alas.
You came in real hot with that. That was like an off-mic hot take. And I was like, no, it's called telephone. You're like, you were adamant. You doubled down. And we finally got to the bottom of it. Patrick was referring to the childhood game telephone.
Thank God.
Get a life, nerd.
Oh, my God.
That was
Patrick.
good. That was good.
Hey, you know who was not a nerd? Diggy.
I like Diggy.
Gotta shit on your point one more time there. Diggy, huge fucking nerd.
No. You're not going to shit on my point because, I'll shit right back in your face. He's a huge nerd. Why? Because he wears glasses? This is one of these fake nerds. He's a fake nerd. So what? You read The Prisoner of Azkaban. Everybody fucking read The Prisoner of Azkaban. You're not a nerd.
That's when I stopped.
I was confused by the movie. I just turned off.
What's confusing? Sirius Black has been falsely imprisoned, and Harry needs to get him out.
Yeah, but who does he send to figure out the mystery? I didn't understand all these characters.
I misspoke. Harry's petrified of Sirius the entire time. He's like supposed to be a bad guy, but he's not.
Okay.
He's Harry's godfather.
I want to say that movie was directed by the same person that directed Gravity, and I didn't like the movie.
Okay.
I like the song Gravity by John Mayer. Anyways,
it is such a good song.
I relent. Diggy is not a nerd. He's just a loser, though. Having good fashion does not make you cool all of a sudden.
Right.
He's not. And
take Wills.
How he got in, another perfect example, but also not a nerd.
Yes.
Because he read The Prisoner of Azkaban.
As you said, perfect example.
Yes. But even how Diggy even became obsessed with fashion was a really sad, pathetic story.
Yeah.
My only issue with him is his obsession with fashion and owning 500 pairs of shoes. I feel like he would have fared much better on his season of The Bachelorette had he not made that a prominent aspect of his character. Or
right.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, but it's like when you see like somebody who's driving an Aston Martin pull out of an apartment complex that is not that nice, you're like, hey, priorities, get them straight. Get them straight. You don't need 500 pairs of shoes.
$2,000 bag with no cash in your purse, Kanye.
By the way, if you live in LA, that is a thing. Dudes that own Teslas that live with their mother at 28.
Yeah. Any hoodles. Can we move on from Diggy? No, because he stirs some shit up. And if I'm being vague and relying upon Nick and Patrick to fill me in, it's because I have a confession to make. I did not see the end of this episode.
You didn't need to, dude. Nick and I can. We'll help.
I'll chime in.
Yeah, just chime in.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little foggy as well, so you might have to take the reins on this, Pat.
Okay. So Diggy walks in and he chooses Olivia.
What?
He takes Olivia out on a date. It's very boring, but one thing that I did appreciate about their dinner date was that they didn't have these. We always complain at dinner that these people start professing their love, making these huge kind of
grandiose
statements of "I love you" and let's start having kids next week or whatever the fuck. They don't indulge in any of this. It's just two people having dinner, talking to each other, and I liked it. It was very refreshing.
I like Olivia a lot. I think she's a cool girl, and I think she's pretty level-headed compared to some of the people on the island.
She's pretty chill. I did find it interesting that she was like looking forward specifically to Diggy coming to the island. I thought that was a bad choice, but whatever. To each their own. They seem like they're all right together.
Yeah.
What I mostly liked about this date was Asian John was left sitting on the beach. I really hate Asian John.
He'll be with Cassandra.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, the Kiwi will get Cassandra.
Who knows? We only got one more day of this and then a fucking reunion. But let me say this about Asian John. Now he's been relegated to basically being kind of petty and like chiming in his narrative. If you notice during this episode is they use him to basically take stabs at the other participants on this show. At some point he says about the witch, he's like, I know she's a witch because she's all over the map, which made no sense.
John said that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He said some other... Oh, he also said when they were doing the baby segment, he said, now Kendall has 2 babies to look after.
Oh, my God.
What a jerk. Asian John. Boy, getting in the muck. Mm-hmm.
Ew. That is very unbecoming talk. I don't like John. Even
I kind of still like
now.
him.
No. Fuck John. Hey, John, if you're listening... we'd love to have you. Hey, Pat, what happens next?
Can we go?
We forgot Evil Ben Stiller and Kendall. We'll have to go back and get that. I made a note of that. But why don't we finish out this last part?
Me boys, drop me old pigskin.
Actually, you know what? Dylan, we hated that part so much that we just erased it from our memory. Like maybe we shouldn't even talk about it because we hate Evil Ben Stiller.
Well, no, let's
Crystal.
talk about it now. Let's just jump into it now. EBS, Evil Ben Stiller, the Goose Donkey, Ron Perlman, Chris sits down with Crystal at a bonfire. Right? Do they go to dinner first? He's got a new forehead. His forehead is rejuvenated, and he tells her that he loves her.
Not before he's interrupted with Ricky the Raccoon. But yes, then he does.
Yeah, do you not remember Ricky the Raccoon, Dylan?
I do remember Ricky the Raccoon. It was a good-looking raccoon, I gotta say. It could be in a lot worse shape. There are raccoons that'll really scare the bejesus out of you, but that raccoon was an aesthetically pleasing youngster.
It was a cute little trash panda there. I will tell you a little anecdote. Okay, I'll take you guys back. 2009, my junior year of college at University of Minnesota. I live on an off-campus house. My room's on the second floor. We pop my windows open in the summer because we have a party. We're out on the roof. Can't get the window back down, okay? It's open for weeks, no screen. I go to bed one night. I wake up in the middle of the night. I hear some scratching. I wake up. I'm a little blurry-eyed. I'm like, what's that, a cat? It's not a cat. It's a raccoon. So it's like 3 a.m. I'm stumbling around in the dark. I try to get a broom. I like make some noise. It just bends this dollar store broom. So you know what? I shut the door.
What bent the dollar store?
I banged it on my futon.
Oh, okay. I thought you struck the raccoon with it.
No. I knew not to go after the raccoon with that thing. I would have been a dead man. So I just go sleep downstairs. I come back in the morning. A bag of chips I had left open is strewn all over my floor, but the raccoon is nowhere to be found. And I got my window closed that day. Fun little trash pandas.
Pat, what do you have pulled up on the screen right now?
It's Barney.
Forest up in a tree, there's a furry little animal looking at me.
Oh my God, I miss
Rings on his
Barney.
tail and a mask on his face. Can anybody guess his name?
Ricky Raccoon.
That's right.
Ricky Raccoon.
This is fun.
Ricky Raccoon.
Yeah, I'm looking at this fondly.
He likes to sleep in the day and play all night, and he doesn't say much, but that's alright. He's got a cute little nose and a funny little smile. Does anybody know his name?
Ricky Raccoon.
Okay, can you pause it for one
No,
second?
no, it's only 40 more seconds.
I have
Bear
a
with
huge
us.
problem with him asking the follow-up question, does anybody know his name? Because they just sang Ricky Raccoon for like 6 or 7 seconds.
He's going the old adage, don't bore us, get to the chorus.
Barney was a hell of a micromanager. He must have been annoying to be around.
Hell of a showrunner, though.
Guys, I can't type all this. I don't have this many fingers. Okay. So he says that he loves Crystal. And, Crystal, letters. How does she respond? I forget.
I love you too.
Really? Yes. She gives it back to him?
Yeah, they seem to be. Yeah, they're in love and they kiss and they're in love.
Okay, who cares? Let's get to the end of this episode.
Couple of nut jobs.
The witch, Shu, confides with Olivia. She confides in Olivia. Maybe she's thinking she should have been into Jordan the Kiwi.
Major Jedi mind trick here. How do you convince someone they should be into somebody?
Yeah.
But it works, kinda.
And I would like to say that I say kinda because I'm not sure how it actually played out on account of I didn't see it.
Well,
I'm also just kind of nodding along in agreement and would love Patrick to elaborate.
All right, I have a clip of Jordan coming back from his date with Cassandra, which, by the way, we didn't spend a lot of time on. The editors are getting tired. Everyone's getting tired. It's time to take this around the barn.
I think we got a show title. Okay, Pat, can we move on here?
Hold on.
Yeah, Jordan comes back.
All right. Prior to this, earlier in the episode, we try and analyze why the witch is still stuck on Camille. And she admits to Olivia that it's because he rejected her. And she's into people that reject her. So when she confronts Jordan, listen to this clip. I feel like his major mistake was to give in to her and say, okay, I'm in. Let's hang out. And that was his undoing. So here's the clip.
The reason I'm talking to you right now is while you were gone, was it easy for me? No. Was I in some way jealous? Yes.
What do you want out of this conversation right now?
How do you feel about me?
At the moment, there's confusion there.
Okay.
I think there has been a little bit of a hangover with Camille.
Oh, Camille and I done.
From the conversation we had, I made a decision. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm really motivated to talk to her more and see what happens.
I guess I have nothing else to say.
Then she gets up and walks away.
Well, fuck you. You're an idiot. You didn't play this well at all.
But I think the point here is that she's absolutely insane. And by the way, why does Jordan even give in to this? He should just be like, hey, bitch, you're nuts.
I think you're mishearing this clip, so I want to clear this up. He says he wants to spend some time with Cassandra.
Oh, he actually says Cassandra?
He says her.
He says, kick bricks, bitch.
These foreigners, I can't understand.
They're speaking English, Patrick. It's the language that you understand.
Take it back.
Does he say Cassandra?
No, yes. He says, I want to spend more time with her or something. Last 15 seconds of that clip.
By the way, if she goes, any attorneys out there listening, if you need me to come in and listen to your clients talk, $50 an hour.
And yeah, I'm really motivated to talk to her more and see what happens.
I'm really motivated to talk to her more.
I thought he said talk to you more.
He says talk to her more.
No, he says talk to her. No.
So then she says there's nothing else to say, and she gets up in a huff.
I'm really motivated to talk to her more.
He doesn't say talk to you more?
No, he says talk to her more.
Hey, Facebook baby birdies, you analyze the game.
Oh my God. Put closed captioning on and let's watch it on Hulu.
From the conversation we had, I made a decision. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm really motivated to talk to her more and see what happens.
Pat, what are we even doing? The listeners must be going crazy right now, throwing things at the wall, at their family members, driving into people on the road, because this is such a clear...
Dylan, you didn't watch this show. She gets up and goes on the daybed. He follows her to the daybed and then consoles her for the end of the episode.
Well,
because she starts crying. So
Yeah.
he's consoling her. He's like, don't feel bad. Like, and he continues to talk about his relationship with Cassandra.
I may not have watched this episode or the end of this episode, but I can clearly tell that Kiwi says hey. Can we move on to the rest of this episode? Pat, what happens?
It's over.
That's it.
Thank goodness. Guys, we are going to end this episode soon, but I would be remiss. We didn't have time for it last episode, but today we've got to get to a fan favorite. You're making a face. Do you not have errors and omissions?
I just thought of one. I got one at least.
Great. Let's kick it. Errors and omissions.
I guess that could be done in post like it usually is. Errors and omissions, of course, is places where we erred and things we omitted. And last week, I compared Colton eventually coming out as gay on his season of The Bachelor
to Michael
and saying he would propose to Michael Orr. I quickly figured out that was the guy from The Blind Side before Dylan corrected me.
Lineman for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, yes, sir. All pro, no less. The first gay NFL player was not Michael Orr, and it was not Christian Samuel, which we were kind of spitballing.
Yeah.
We were getting there. Slippy, Sally, Schwimmy, Schwammy.
All I said was I think there's Sam in there.
And Alex Salk said Christian Samuel. So we were dancing around it. The first gay NFL player was Michael Sam.
He kissed his loving boyfriend on screen
on the draft
when Jeff Fisher took him with the last pick that the Rams had.
And I am not saying that is our only error and omission, but that is the only one I brought to the table for this segment. That was this week's errors and omissions.
Hey, hold on, I have one.
It's not. What the fuck is wrong with you? This isn't your segment.
I know, but
I don't read reviews.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
Hang on. Let's take a vote. By a vote, I mean, Nick, do you allow Pat to throw an error and omission in here?
Curiosity killed the cat and this bit. What do you got, Pat?
Okay. Last episode, I had said that I took a girl's virginity. And she had told me that a penis had actually been in her vagina. And I said, hey, that means I'm not taking your virginity. And she said, no, he didn't do it. Just put it in for a minute, just the tip. And I had watched an episode of what I thought at the time was Big Bang Theory, and I said that episode was hilarious. And you had said, Nick, that's an oxymoron because there's no such thing as a hilarious episode of Big Bang Theory. You are, in fact, correct, sir. It was an episode of How I Met Your Mother. Thank you, Dominic, for correcting me. I apologize. It was an episode of How I Met Your Mother. But the metaphor or the analogy was still the same. When you fuck a chick, you put your penis in her, you're taking her virginity.
Anyways, I have to ask you for permission to put a little contribution of my own into errors and omissions.
No, I've been too generous.
Come on! I have a good one.
Fine, I'm a softie.
I said last week that docking was when an uncircumcised penis slowly slipped into the foreskin of an uncircumcised penis. Error. It is a circumcised penis slipping into the foreskin of an uncircumcised penis. That is my contribution to errors and omissions.
I'm very glad we left that in.
I can sleep now.
That was this week's errors and omissions.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. That's the end of this episode. We'll be back next week with more hot bib talk. Guys, iTunes ratings and reviews, 5 stars. If you're going to leave one, wear a name tag. If you're going to leave anything else for that matter, wear a fucking name tag. Join us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Another Bachelor Podcast.
/groups.
Cool. Add an S in there. Nick, how are people going to find us on Instagram?
At Another Bachelor Podcast.
Guys, love you so much for listening. We're really sad that this season's coming to an end. Not because we are no longer going to see this television, which has been good, but far too much. But we're gonna be sad to not give you guys a pod. We love you, and we're.
But I will tell them maybe you guys should all invest in a life jacket. That's a really.
How do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying.
It's a tease to what we might do.
Are you saying that we're going to announce what we're doing next week on the podcast?
Yeah, that we might
start a new podcast.
Yeah, where we recap Below Deck. We're going to talk about that next week.
When we laugh at that idea out loud, maybe that's telling.
We're going to leave you with that tease, okay? But we'll follow that up next week. I'm Dylan. Say goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
See you guys.
Ricky.